This is Arcade Row, where people who were making more money could live. It wasn't restricted to people who worked for the Pullman Company. There were attorneys that lived in these houses, school teachers, engineers, master mechanics. These houses are very nice. They were nice then and still nice today. They have a living room, a formal dining room, fireplaces, a master bedroom on the second floor with a nursery attached. And then on the third floor, there were 3 bedrooms which some of the people used to supplement their income and housing expenses by renting them to boarders. And that was understood and encouraged, because in a town where you're manufacturing, you have a lot of single individuals that come to the city to work and earn money to bring their families from Europe, or work and raise money to bring their family from another part of the country. For those of you who have read Devil in the White City and became familiar with many of the historic characters in Chicago and in Pullman at that time, the mayor of Chicago, who was elected after Carter Harrison was assassinated, was John Patrick Hopkins. He lived in this row house because he worked for the Pullman Company for many years, and then continued to live here as a boarder. And at the commission hearings after the strike, talked about him having lived and living in Pullman. He was elected the first Irish Catholic mayor of the city of Chicago in 1894 in a special election for the fall of 1893, and was mayor of the city of Chicago during the Pullman strike, and played a major role in trying to mediate between the forces. The Greenstone Church was the first church constructed in Pullman. It was constructed by the company to reflect the positive value that religious institutions have on communities. It was built by the company, and so it was rented to the first congregation that was large enough to afford paying the rent. The Presbyterians were the first to use the Greenstone Church, and used it until it was sold to the Methodists after the company was ordered by the Illinois Supreme Court to sell off all the non-manufacturing properties. This is the Pullman Market Square. It was constructed in 1892 and 93, just in time for the Columbian Exposition. The first market hall burned down in early 1892, and Pullman brought back Saul and Spencer Beeman to design a new market hall, as well as creating Market Square, which includes these colonnaded apartments, which makes this a very unique urban space in the city of Chicago. The Hotel Florence was built and opened in 1881. It was the best hotel south of Hyde Park, and it reflected the high quality of service that was available to guests on the Pullman cars. The dining room and accommodations were first class, and the hotel was designed without an elevator. So the better rooms are on the lower floors, and the less expensive rooms are on the upper floors. The dining room had seating capacity for about 100 people, and the hotel was the only Pullman building where there was a bar.